Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by the Butterfly Palace. Have the best day ever at the Butterfly Palace. The Springfield Greene County Park Board reminding you to go play, and Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service. Call Southwest Missouri's best plumber today for a free estimate. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Here we are. It is Tuesday morning. We made it through the weather yesterday. Boy, some slick roads, really slick early in the morning. And then it cleared off. Our boy, at some point, was going to go out. Our driveway has a little slant to it, and he was going to go out, and I made him put on hockey pads and a helmet because I've seen enough America's Funniest Home Videos to know that if you go out on the ice, you're gonna fall down. So I made him put on all this stuff. He went out there to slide down our driveway, and it wasn't slick at all. So we waited too long, apparently.
Right. It was a little too warm because a friend of mine I saw did the same thing at 6 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
And it worked very, very well.
Yeah.
So that was yesterday.
This was probably noon or 1 p.m. So we missed the opportunity.
All right. Well, speaking of the ice, power crews were super busy yesterday. Most everyone is back online now. Here in Springfield, some very ice-heavy trees fell over and snapped some power lines, but city utilities got people back online. And, of course, if you do lose power, they remind you they do want to know about it. They want you to report it. That's not just city utilities, but any utility provider. The number to call, though, in Springfield at least, is 417-863-9000. I always feel like it was pretty easy to memorize, 863-9000. Most schools are back open today, although not all, but most of them are, as our temperatures finally warm to above freezing, which is exciting. Yes.
That's correct.
We have some more information on that attack that we told you about yesterday morning. It happened at Hickory Hills Middle School last week. We now know the person who was severely beaten was a 14-year-old girl. And apparently the attack was totally unprovoked. We also know that the three attackers were all three girls. They were arrested. They have been being held in juvenile custody. The dad of the victim says he's received a lot of messages since then. And he says these same three girls have been in trouble before and should have never been allowed back in school. The district policy is 10-day suspension, but of course they can add to that if they want to. Honestly, I think they probably will, just based on the tone of an interview that I saw with the district. But we shall see. But again, they are also in legal trouble, big legal trouble as well. So the juvenile court system is not messing around.
Man, I don't know. I don't know what kids are doing these days. Because back in my day, when there was a fight, it was one-on-one. And when somebody went down, even if the attacker, even if the winner of that fight was aggressive, other people would step in and say, "All right, he's had enough. That's enough. That's enough," and everybody would go on their way. Now these videos I see, and I don't know this specific situation, but the videos I see, kids just keeping on.
But it's not just kids. You see it in adults too. Sometimes you see it in women, which is really wild, but then other times you see men. I mean, and I've seen videos, especially Twitter. Twitter's the worst. But you see a lot of videos on there where nobody is stepping in. Like people are videotaping it. But then again, I don't know. I've thought about this before. I think I might be afraid to step in, even if it were females, because you don't know who has a weapon and and if they're crazy and, crazy is the wrong word. Evil is the correct word.
I'm not talking about the bystanders. I'm talking, it is evil. I'm talking about the attackers who will not stop. And somebody's down on the ground. Obviously they've lost because it's usually more than one person on another. And they keep going. They keep going. Stomping
like that's
heads.
What happened here. It
kicking
sounds
people
like
in the
that's
head.
what happened here.
Kicking people in the head is beyond my comprehension, and it happens all the time now. It's inhumane. It's unbelievable. But anyway, so we'll see what happens with this situation with a child. And I don't know that that's what happened here. I'm just talking about the videos that I've seen of other instances.
It sounds like that's what happened here. I mean, the dad said, and the pictures proved it, of his daughter who was in the hospital with lots of injuries, not just a concussion, but some like major serious things going on. So, but recently the school board, they had like a teacher led protest. I mean, it was one of the unions teachers saying we don't feel like we have enough power in the classroom. So, I mean, SPS is going to respond. I'm confident, but we shall see. It's a personnel matter, whatever they call it. We don't know yet.
Speaking of school districts in the state of Missouri, more qualified and trained staff members could be allowed to carry concealed guns at school if legislation is approved. This bill would only change who can be authorized as what's called a school protection officer. For a decade now, you may not realize it's been that long, but it's been that long. Teachers and administrators who go through training and get special approval have been allowed to carry concealed guns at school in class for the protection of students if needed, God forbid. The bill is moving now from the Committee on Elementary and Secondary Education to the full House floor, where it would have to be approved then to move to the state Senate. So it's a long way from being done, but it's being talked about and debated right now in the legislature.
Yeah, so I remember small school district, I'm Googling, outside West Plains. There's a small school district in Missouri right outside of West Plains, and they were one of the first where teachers were allowed to continue carrying. What is it called? My friend Katie went there when she was a little girl. It's right outside of West Plains. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do not.
That's Howell County. Anyway, I don't know. It was very interesting because there were several of the teachers who carried, and it was kind of cool because it scared everybody straight because they had all been certified for it, but not everybody was sure who all was certified. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, don't mess around. Not Junction Hill. Anyway, I can't find it. If I think of it before this is over, I'll holler it out.
Okay, AI, here we go. New Hampshire's Attorney General is investigating a fake robocall that sounds very real. It sounds like President Biden, except it is not the president. The call tells supporters not to vote in today's presidential primary in New Hampshire. The robot even uses phrases that Biden often uses. Now, that's the first time that we've seen this, I think, in a primary. Although, of course, for the president and his primary, it's not as huge a deal because he is basically the sole candidate. But this may be the future of political races. You can't trust your ears,
no,
or maybe your eyes.
That's what makes it hard. Is that whenever it sounds like him and uses his phrasing, that could happen to anybody. You know.
Well, these days, yeah, a lot of people. Well, you and I, we have enough audio on the internet that it could be done.
Yep.
With anybody. So don't believe anything.
Yes. Just don't believe anything at all ever again.
Unless it comes from Around the Ozarks with a check mark.
Right. Yes. Or this.
Or Ethan and Sarah with a check mark. Yeah.
Or this, babe. This is my cultural study Bible. Very interesting. Okay. Another local restaurant is expanding outside of the Ozarks that is based here. Big Whiskey's will soon open another restaurant in Alabama, making 3 total there. They will be in Huntsville and Alabaster. So that's fun for them. This is a cool story because lots of people are affected by Alzheimer's, either personally or family. A simple blood test may be able to detect Alzheimer's before the person shows any symptoms of it. That's pretty cool. The new test screens for proteins that build up in people who have Alzheimer's. Now, typically that type of testing would involve a spinal tap and a brain scan, but now researchers say that they are able to do it with just as much accuracy with a simple blood test. So if it's approved, this could be sold for between $200 and $500.
I don't know what I think. I mean, I guess it's good to have that. I don't know. As somebody who lost their mother to Alzheimer's disease, I mean, it's always in the back of my mind because it can be hereditary, and I just don't know if I would take that blood test. I mean, I don't know at this point. You can't cure it, and you can't really treat it. So I don't know what good it would do. I think it would just haunt you and be something you constantly think about and ruin your quality of life until it's ruined by the actual disease.
Right.
And then God forbid there be a false negative
Yeah.
or a false positive. A false positive meaning you're not going to get it. You don't have it, but you think you do. I mean, how awful would that be? And
Right.
the COVID tests, you can't trust those. So I don't know if you could trust this. It'd be tough. I think I would. I like that they're working on it. I just don't know at this point that I would want to know, because what do you
Yeah.
do about it?
There's no way that I would take it. There's no way I would allow you to take it. And I've already been faced with the same question with multiple sclerosis. And there's a lot of people who've taken it. Good for you. I've got zero interest. Absolutely zero.
In
You know
taking
why?
an MS
Because
test?
part of Alzheimer's, MS, so many diseases are worsened by stress in your body. We
Right.
went to the number one MS doctor in the country who was at the Cleveland Clinic.
For
And I
your
was like,
mother.
hey, my mom has it. My
Yeah.
sister has it. Like, what do I do? And he said, don't lead a life of stress. And if I took the test and it said that I was going to get it, I would lead a life of stress. And I don't otherwise. And so I will not take it. It will stress you smooth out, no
Yeah.
matter what it is, whether it's that or this. Anyway, I mean, kudos to them for working on it. There's a lot of people who would love to know. I am not in that number.
Yeah. Hey, if you need a job, the Springfield Cardinals, we're talking baseball. We're thinking about baseball. Baseball's on the horizon. It's right around the corner. Not really, but let me dream. The Springfield Cardinals are hiring all sorts of positions. They're hosting a job fair 1 week from today to fill seasonal part-time game day positions for the 2024 season. We know somebody who works there as an usher, kind of a retirement job. Loves it, gets to see the ball game, gets to see friends that come to all the games. It'd be a cool thing.
Yeah, we know a couple, actually. We know a couple, and they love it.
Yeah, 4 to 7 o'clock, 1 week from today at the Cardinals Indoor Training Facility, which is right in the outfield, basically, of Hammons Field. They're looking for inside sales positions, game day ambassadors, mascots.
Can you imagine like just going down there and applying for a mascot job? They're going to interview you on the spot for any of these. So you got to be ready. You got to get your game face on.
Yeah. Well, if you mascot, you just put a hat on.
Right. But you got to be like energetic. You got to be ready to rile the crowd.
Ready to do it. Field crew, box office staff, video production crew, ushers, beverage, food and beverage, cooks, all that sort of thing. Everything that you need to make a baseball game happen at a stadium like Hammons Field, and the Cardinals are hiring for. So if you need something to do this summer and you like baseball, 1 week from today, 4 to 7.
There you go. Even a cleaning crew. Somebody's got to clean up the bleachers after the baseball happens. All right. This is a fun little story. If you've always wanted to own a food truck, now might be your chance. You heard it first right here. Swirly's Ice Cream and Waffles is looking to sell their food truck. The couple who owns it says they're dealing with some health challenges and just not working for them right now. And it's a good time to sell. They opened in August of 2022. So they're still kicking along in 2024, which means there's got to be some sort of a fan base, customer base. They are in the Parkcrest Center parking lot on South Campbell Avenue.
All right. I like ice cream and and I like waffles. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know about an ice cream truck. I would be as big as a house. My friend just opened a coffee truck in Ozark called Sip and Savor.
Where's that?
It's new. It's in Ozark. It is on in right by like Hopedale Baptist Church, which is like on the corner of CC and J. Like it turns from like CC to JJ, and then in same highway that the high school sits on. Anyway, there you go.
Okay, cool.
Check it out. Yeah,
I think I actually drove by that. I was taking your mom home from church.
Well, you should know that my friend owns it, so you should stop by and grab a coffee.
Okay, good to know. All right. We also want to tell you about one of the easiest ways that you can keep up on all that goes on here with our podcast and the other podcasts. A lot of great podcasts on Around the Ozarks, the app and the website. But we want you to get the app because that's really one-stop shopping for all of this. You can take it with you. It's at your fingertips. You have access to the audio versions of every podcast all in one place. So that's us, Around the Ozarks in 5, Wake Up Weather with Abby Dyer, Rewind with Woody and Janet, which is fun. Sports Scene, Scott Purrier's doing a great job. Ned Talk with Ned Reynolds. We love that. And more. There's more on there as well.
Yes. And if you want to watch the video version, you can even do that from the app as well. So most people just listen to the audio, but if you like the video on the app, you can just click on the little banner thing and you can also watch the video version. So we know that on Facebook or social media, sometimes the news of the day gets lost. Like it's hard to know the order, but on the app, it's very obvious in date order where you are. So just go to the App Store on your phone and search for Around the Ozarks, and you'll see us there to download it.
We appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Tell your friends. It just last week, at the end of last week, I think it was 3 years since our final day at KY3. So I posted on my Facebook page. I posted the goodbye from 9 o'clock, which is fun. It's some of the fun stuff that we did over the years. And a lot of people were saying very kind things, which is nice, that they miss us on the news. So I'm trying to tell everybody, hey, we're still on the news. We're still doing the news. You can just tune into Around the Ozarks in 5 every day, and we'll keep you up to date. So you tell your friends as well. That's what I'm saying.
Yes. Share the good news. All right. Have a great day, and we are so thankful that you joined us.
Yep. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Bye.